Hello, hello, hello. It's me again. Yes, I'm back. Welcome back to the Lockdown Life to Loving Life Summit here in Ladies Life Lounge. Hope you're having a wonderful Saturday so far. Maybe you've been doing a few errands, a couple of chores, get the kids sorted this morning, but this afternoon is all for you. We've got a right Bobby Dazzler, a good old corker of a workshop for you this Saturday afternoon from our resident sex and pleasure expert, Sarah Rose Bright. So this topic fits under our secret of pretty personal, where we kind of, talk about all those subjects that are ordinarily quite taboo, and we make them not taboo anymore. So this afternoon, Sarah's workshop is how to know what you want in bed. All right. So I'm hoping you get lots and lots from this workshop. Now, Sarah couldn't be with us this week live, so she has pre-recorded this session for you. So sit back, relax, enjoy this workshop, and if you have any questions, pop them below the video or message them to us or to Sarah, or you can just come and join the members club at the end. So I hope you enjoy this one too. See you soon.
Hi, and welcome to this webinar, this little class with me, Sarah Rose Bright, where I'm going to share with you how to know what you want in bed. So let me tell you a little bit about me and why I'm here talking about this topic. And then we're going to look at why it's important to know what you want in bed, what might be blocking knowing what you want in bed, and then some ways to start to discover that for yourself. So I'm a sex, pleasure and intimacy coach, and I've been working for over a decade, mainly with women, but I also do work with some men and some couples. And my vision is a world where women truly know this aspect of themselves and truly love themselves, and where women are living their most authentic, beautiful, sexy, yummy life. And they're really sharing themselves with the world, really showing up fully in the world. I really love to empower women to discover what's pleasurable for them, to understand and know what it is to feel sexually confident, and so that they can truly enjoy sex and create healthy and wonderful relationships. And I love this work so deeply. And one of the reasons I so love this work, because I was a woman many years ago who didn't enjoy sex. I was terrified of sex. I didn't know what I wanted. And even if I did, I wouldn't have known how to communicate it. I didn't love my body. I didn't like myself. And so I went on a journey to explore this for myself. And never did I imagine I'd be here many years later sharing this with you. And I share this because it's important for me to share with you that for some of you, you may be here, this area may be terrifying, scary, confusing, worrying, you might feel shame around it, a whole host of different things. And I want you to know that I've been there, and I've been on a journey to get to know this aspect of myself and to clear all the things that got in the way of me enjoying myself as a sexual being. And I'm still learning now, 15 years later. So there is so much to learn and explore, I promise you. So welcome to you watching this class with me. And so whether you don't know what you want or whether you do know what you want but wonder what else is possible, there'll be something in this for you for sure. And you're going to gain ideas, hopefully bust some myths, some new ways of thinking. And I am going to provide you with a worksheet and an audio practice so that you can deepen this for yourself and take this forward into your life, because this is lifelong learning. As for example, with your health, with your career, or your friendships, you may be every now and then evaluating them. Is this working for me? What would I like? What do I need to change? What do I need to refine? What do I need to let go of? What do I need to learn? Bring more in. And it's exactly the same for your sex life. But when it comes to sex, we don't really have a culture of practice. We're expected to just show up in the bedroom and be amazing. And if you go to see a big concert at the O2 Arena, that band has put in hours to practice and rehearse to be able to show up and deliver a concert, but we're expected to just show up in the bedroom without any practice. So I want to bust that myth now that it's so important to learn this for yourself. So, first of all, I just want to start with just sharing a little bit about the word sex drive versus desire. So, sex drive is when we talk about sex drive, it's like we're looking at our sexual activities through the lens of, am I in the mood? Am I horny? And sometimes that sort of language. And it's a very limited way of seeing our sexual beingness, our sexual aliveness. So I much prefer the word desire. Desire is, in the dictionary, described as a strong feeling of wanting something or wishing for something to happen. So we can look at sexual desire as the desire, the wanting to have sex. So we might want to have sex, but not feel hugely aroused. We might want to have sex, but not feel in the mood. So it gives us more scope to play with, because a lot of people, their desire is spontaneous, it just happens, definitely more men than women. But for a lot of women, their desire is what we call responsive. So you need to have something to respond to for your desire to get kick started. So, for example, you might not feel sexual desire, but you might fancy a lovely massage, and you receive a lovely massage, and then you start to feel sexual desire. So, you've had this thing to respond to, or your partner makes a fuss of you and is really complimentary, shares some lovely words, and you start to feel desire. So, if your desire is not spontaneous and it's more responsive, if you don't have anything to respond to, you could go months and years without ever feeling your sexual desire. However, if you start to create the conditions for your desire to have something to respond to, and that may be on your own, that you create a lovely bath and go on a date with yourself and have a lovely self-pleasure practice, you might find that your desire starts to activate in different ways and a little bit more. So that's a whole nother conversation, but I feel it's important to set the scene, because you may be wondering where your desire is. And there's many ways that your desire many things that your desire can be affected by: exhaustion, kids, stress, all sorts of different things. But there's also a lot you can do to cultivate desire in your life rather than waiting for it to happen. So let's move on to, why is it important to know what you want? So, first of all, just to say, extraordinary lovers, the research shows that lovers that have been having amazing sex for maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and yes, it is 100% possible, they practice, they learn, and they plan. Sex doesn't just happen. They create time to get to know themselves and each other. They get time to practice and explore and be clunky and clumsy and take risks and be prepared for it not to work out. They study, they learn, they plan. They know that sex isn't always going to happen spontaneously. So they create time for intimacy. And so, if we are prepared to practice and learn and plan and discuss these things, then we can create the conditions for getting to know each other and getting to know ourselves first and foremost. And so we are sexual beings, and that are what we like, changes. And so we need to get to know what we truly enjoy, not what we think we should enjoy, not what we feel is expected of us, but what we authentically enjoy. And sometimes we have to learn, we have to unlearn to find what we truly enjoy. And so, as we do things that are enjoyable to us, we're going to have more pleasure. We're going to want to have sex more. We're going to want to be intimate more, even with whether this is with ourselves or with another. And all of this applies to solo self pleasure as much as it does to partner pleasure. And so, also, as we get to know what we want, it builds our sexual confidence, because we can't ask for what we want if we don't know what we want. And so, knowing what we want, also, we can take responsibility for our experience. We're not looking to lovers and partners to be responsible for our pleasure. My pleasure is my responsibility. My partner's pleasure is their responsibility. My partner doesn't give me an orgasm. They can help me to have an orgasm, but it's my experience. And when we take responsibility for our sex life, when we take responsibility for getting to know who we are as a sexual being and what we like and what we don't like, then we can feel it's really empowering. Okay. So if you're starting from a place of, I don't know what I want, I haven't got a clue. I remember the first time that I realized in my early 30s that I actually didn't have a clue what I wanted when I was honest with myself. I actually sobbed. I was like, how have I got to my early 30s and I haven't got a clue? However, when I felt that sadness, when I felt that regret, then I felt liberated and curious. And I went on a mission to find out. I was like, there is no way I am gonna get to the end of my life and not know. And it is never too late. One of my oldest clients was 78, and she came to me and she said, I want to know what it's like to have great sex, and what a joy to work with her. And so it's never, ever, ever too late. So, what stops us from knowing what we want? I just want to spend a little bit of time on this because I've talked a few things already in terms of no culture of practice. We're just expected to know what we like, and when we think sex should just look a certain way, and then we perform how we think sex should be. Also, I think a few other things actually that are really important to mention is we don't have any education. And I've touched on this, but I want to amplify it because sex education is very fear-based. It's like how not to get pregnant, how not to catch STIs. We don't have sex education that says you are a sexual being and what brings you pleasure. Let's get to explore. You can get to explore and know that, how to communicate that, what consent looks like, what boundaries look like. We don't have any useful sex education. Very few people do. So that's going to be a massive piece of the jigsaw. If you if you wanted to, if you work in any job, you have to learn to be able to do the job, and we have to learn to be able to look after our bodies, to create great food, all sorts of different things. Yet somehow it's expected in this area of our lives that we should just know. Um, Also, when it comes to specifically for women, how we're socialized is very much there's this very good girl archetype that either desires are going to get us into trouble, or they're bad and they're dangerous. And actually, if you do know what you want or you enjoy sex, you're a slut, you're promiscuous. There's all these incredibly shaming words about women who enjoy sex. So, from an early age, a lot of women that I work with have learned to be the good girl, have learned to not do anything that breaks that sort of, only go so far, and anything that feels like it breaks that good girlness um, feels dangerous or bad or wrong or shameful. So this conditioning can really keep women small and keep women safe. And it's not about being a good girl or a bad girl. It's about being a woman in her power. And sometimes it's about exploring where we feel the good girl in our lives, where that shows up, the people pleaser. Often, I work with women who their sexual encounters are all about pleasing their partners, not about their pleasure. It doesn't really come into it. Or they perform in a certain way, the way they think good girls should perform, and don't venture out into things that they maybe feel break that. And it could be something as simple as not getting on top of a partner, or it could be wanting to explore something a bit more that feels a bit more adventurous, but they don't know how to, or feel stuck in that. So if this good girl, bad girl sort of plays out for you, it's about moving beyond this into how do you find what does being an empowered sexual woman look like to you? A woman that can be all of the things that's possible, that can be tender, that can be wild, that could be sexy, that can be sensual, that can be playful, that can be passionate, that can be loving. and finding what feels authentic and true for you. And so just noticing if that good girl shows up. And then also a couple of other things is shame. So women, you may feel shame about what you desire, especially if you judge them or you fear somebody else may judge your desires as not acceptable in some way, or that they're weird. And so then I had incredible shame about the fantasies that I had as a teenager. I thought there was something really wrong or disgusting with them, because I used to have these fantasies about really old men. And I just didn't understand it at the time. But now I've explored and understood it. It was so liberating, because I took that shame and that feeling of disgust around myself into my adult relationships. And so also, and also, for example, it's very common women have rape fantasies. So that can really clash with belief systems about, for example, being a feminist. And so it's really great to explore the fantasies, and also to know that just because you have them doesn't mean that you want them to happen in real life, or there's anything wrong with you. And, I've had hundreds and thousands of clients say to me, are my fantasies normal? Is there something up with me? And there's never been anything. There's just nothing that's been abnormal. They're really common fantasies. And it's about understanding them and exploring them. And so that shame about fantasies, but also shame about desires. If your desire is to be dominated or tied up, for example, that can feel, gosh, what would that mean? Does it mean I'm going to have to change everything I believed about myself? Or where will it end up if I follow this? There can be a lot of fears about these things. And so we make meaning of them that isn't necessarily there. So this can be great to explore with somebody like a coach like myself, to unpick these things. But also just knowing that shame can play a part is really important. And then just finally, you may know what you want in bed, but you don't know how to ask for it. And again, that's something that's really common. It's not for this little class, but I just want to name that that's something that's really common. So moving on, I want to talk about how to know what you want in bed. And so hopefully this introduction's given you some food for thought and some things to follow. So, of the things that I share and I've shared, just notice what resonates with you or touches you or speaks to you, because these are threads for you to follow to get to be your own pleasure detective. So get curious with all of this, without any judgment. Let's get really curious. Curiosity is one of the most brilliant things that you can bring into your sex life and your pleasure. And as you start to put together, what is it that you enjoy in bed? What is it that you feel you might enjoy? These aren't absolutes. It's like, have these as possibilities and then go and experiment, because you might explore them and decide, no, that's not what I want to explore. Or it's actually not what I thought it was. However, or you might like some of it, but not all of it. So just know that all of this is an experiment, because this never ends. So, for example, what do you might like for your pleasure before childbirth and after childbirth might be different. What you might like during menopause might be different, or at different times of your menstrual cycle might be different, or if you've had illness or you're on medications, all of these different things can change how you are as a sexual being. And so it's about tuning in and knowing that it will change, and that's totally natural and normal, just as what type of exercise your body needs or what food your body needs changes. And also, as you explore what you desire, all of it is valid. Just because you have this desire, it doesn't mean you're going to act out. And so what I invite you to consider is the principle of like also exploring what's your core desire. When you think about some of the things that I'm going to share with you, where are what really, really arouses you? And those things that really, really, really arouse you can give you clues to unlocking what's the most arousing feelings for you. So I'll give you an example. if you have a fantasy, or if you know that you have had experiences where somebody has really shown their desire for you and that has been the most arousing, then that's your key, which can be a key to unlocking your pleasure and your arousal. For somebody else, it might be the other person leading. So they can just surrender to the experience, and it's surrender that really arouses you. For somebody else, it might be you leading that really rouses you, you taking control. And when you're in control, you feel powerful or you feel really sexy. So it's about really tracking those points which you find really arousing, because they're going to be the keys as well that are going to really unlock your pleasure. So I'm going to provide you with a worksheet, and there's two key exercises for you to explore. Exercise, and each of the worksheets is going to, the worksheet has tips for each of the exercises. So the first exercise is to write a desires list. And so you're just going to take a piece of paper and just start writing, I desire. And I desire, I desire, I desire. And as you write, I desire, you'll find maybe things that feel familiar come out. But then as you go spend more time, maybe things that you hadn't thought about might come out, or things that you haven't done for ages but you'd love to do, or things that you are curious about and that you'd love to try. And just writing this desires list can be really powerful, and keep doing it, especially if you're somebody who really doesn't know what you want. This can also be really great to just write this I desire list for all of your life, not just for your, you might have a time where you do it just around sex and intimacy, but then you write it other times, you know, when it's just about all of your life. Because as women, often we're not conditioned to tune into what we want and own what we want. So if you imagine your desires as like a radio channel that you first tune in and you can't get a signal, but the more you tune in, the more you strengthen this signal. And so writing this desires list, I do this regularly for myself. And I also, me and my partner do this regularly, where we just sit opposite each other and we share our desires. Just in general, we just allow each other to witness, I desire more hugs from you. I desire more intimate time. I desire more time outdoors, whatever it is, because it keeps our desires alive for ourselves and each other. And then it may be like, oh, I didn't know you desired that. I'd love to help you realize that. Or actually, we keep saying this, let's make it happen. So just keep tuning into your desires. And if you don't know what you want as well, you might start to see themes or possibilities that you hadn't seen. And so I recommend just doing this, sitting down with what you desire and tuning into it regularly, and also throughout the day. What is it I desire right now? Rather than going through the motions of rushing and busyness, what is it I desire, and nourishing yourself with those things? It might be I desire 5 minutes to sit down. I desire a nap. I desire 5 minutes in the sun. I desire listening to some music and just moving my body, so that we can start to allow ourselves little pleasures every day and our desires to be more part of everyday life, because often there's something we do at the weekends when we've finished work or whatever, and life's too short for that. So that's the first list, it's a desires list, and there's some little tips for that in the worksheet. And then secondly, exploring your sexual experiences and fantasies that you've already been experiencing. So exploring your favorite sexual experiences. What are the qualities and of the things that you've really enjoyed? And if you haven't had any wonderful sexual experiences, you can just, what you do imagine a wonderful sexual experience looks like for you. And so this might be the qualities of the experience around it. So it might be, I was on holiday, or there was no time pressure, or it was a weekend, or it was in a new place. It was rushed. It might be the energy of it being rushed that might have been really wonderful. That just the real wanting each other. It could be a solo sex experience. It doesn't have to be a partnered sexual experience. And then what actually happened in that experience? And whatever comes to mind, choose a handful. And it might be something that you did as a first that was just mind blowing, or it might be something that took you by surprise, or it might be just very simple. It might be just a wonderful kiss. And then it might be something really adventurous. So just go with some experiences that were really wonderful for you and really spend some time daydreaming into what made those wonderful. So you're going to explore your favorite sexual experiences for clues. You're going to explore your fantasies. Now, women often think they don't fantasize, but when I ask them questions, they always do. And a fantasy doesn't have to have a start or finish or end point. So, for example, people imagine fantasies um, as an elaborate story. A fantasy might be dreaming of doing, just being, having wonderful lovemaking with a partner, or dressing up in wonderful clothes and just feeling gorgeous. Or it might be a specific sexual act, or it might be deep connection, or an amazing adventure, or it might just be a person that you imagine, like your partner. And so it could just be something very, very simple. So what do you daydream about? Do you think about things if you self pleasure? So just exploring the sort of things that you have been fantasizing about or imagining, and are there go-to experiences, go-to fantasies that you go to the same time again and again? So exploring those. If you've seen sexual encounters in the movies or watched any porn, again, what's aroused you about those things? Has it is there specific things that you go to again and again? So again, just getting really curious about that. And also, sort of, what are the flavors of the experiences? Are they romantic? Whether they're experiences that you've had for yourself, with another, in fantasy, in porn. Are they romantic? Are they very sensual? Are they kinky? Are they wild? Are they adventurous? Are they sacred? Are they energetic? What are the flavor of these things? So spending some time, and I really, if you fancy it, if you've got the space, create a yummy space. You might put some lovely music on, pour a lovely drink, sit in a lovely place. It might be outside, or it might be in the bath. Get a beautiful notebook or journal and just spend some time exploring these things for yourself. And you might explore them and then leave it for a couple of days. And, oh, I never thought about that. I'll add that to the list. And, every woman that I've spoke to who said she doesn't know what she wants, when I've asked her some questions, she's always known some things. And it might be that I really love light touch, not firm touch. Or I really love it when I feel desired by my lover. I love it when they share words about how I look or feel. Or I love it when um, I'm not rushed and I've got plenty of time. So there's always things, and those little things, like I love kissing, or I love my breasts being stroked, or I love my back being kissed. Those little things are all things that all things that you want. So all things that you like. So we sometimes think we should have this, women think they should have this massive, like, sexual huge list of everything that they want, that should be highly adventurous and wild. And that just may not be you. And that's totally fine. There is no wrong or right with this. It's about finding what feels good and true for you. So I hope there's been something in this for you. And, there's so many other ways to learn. There's books, there's courses, there's one-to-one work. So just explore this for yourself as a starting place. And if you feel stuck with this, or you don't know how to approach this with a partner, or where to start, it's totally natural and common. You might feel a lot of fear or shame or whatever. It's totally natural and common. And so, if that's you, you might feel it might be really beneficial to reach out to somebody like myself to do some one-to-one work with, because I when people work with somebody like me, I know that we go on a journey of discovery that will reap benefits in your life for many, many years to come. And always, people start off feeling nervous or unsure or uncomfortable, and they very quickly find the relief of looking at this area of their life and realizing it's not as scary or as worrying or as huge as they imagined. And they then start to really actually enjoy the process of discovery and learning and find compassion for themselves, and why understanding that there's nothing wrong with you. I promise every one of you listening to this audio, this video, there is nothing wrong with you. And it's about a process of discovery and finding out what's stopping you enjoying who you are as a sexual being, and getting to know that and clearing these things out the way so that you can really come home and discover the sexual woman that you are and find your sexual confidence, what you enjoy. And this really ripples out into your intimate life, or you just feel more confident about dating if you're single. And it's a really wonderful journey. So you can feel free to reach out to me if you've got any questions at all. I also offer a 30-minute free sex and intimacy visioning call where we have a lovely, no pressure conversation to explore what feels possible and wonderful for you. And I can then share with you a little bit about one-to-one work as well. And please find me at sarahrosebright.co.uk. You can sign up to my newsletter there for some free gifts. And you can also find me on my YouTube channel, my website at Sarah Rose Bright. My website has lots of blogs and information and videos and free stuff. So please take a look at that and enjoy your explorations. And I wish you the most wonderful of days. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.
There you have it. We hope you have enjoyed this workshop and are enjoying taking part in Lockdown Life to Loving Life, the Summit. If you've been enjoying the workshop so far this week, then we would love to extend a massive warm invitation for you to come and join us in Ladies Life Lounge as a member. The doors to the lounge are open now and you can become a member today. So what do you get? What do you get if you decide to come and join us? We have got so much on offer within Ladies Life Lounge. First and foremost, you will get access to our immense library of online video modules and all of the downloadables, so workbooks, printables, checklists, all kinds of stuff, all under each of our 7 secrets. On top of that, we host 2 live monthly masterclasses with industry experts every single month. Plus, we've got a back catalogue of, well, I think never mind 40, I think it's in excess of about 50 now. So you've always got access to those. We have got the best, and I would put my house on this, the best community of supportive women you have ever seen. So other members in Ladies Life Lounge are just the best in the world. We have never known a group of women support each other and cheerlead each other the way that these ladies do. On top of that, you have got that whole team of resident experts that have been taking part in the summit this week. All of those on tap for you to be able to ask questions and ask for advice anytime you want to. We also host a monthly group coaching video call. So we allow 2 of our members each month to take a hot seat, and we all kind of get in and roll our sleeves up, muck in and help each other to solutionize around some of the issues, challenges, goals and aspirations that we're working on. We've got an amazing book club, so we read regular books and use those to develop ourselves. We have quarterly social events with guest speakers, and yes, it's time to get back to face-to-face. So our summer social is all arranged, face-to-face event that will be taking place in Birmingham, so you'll get to come to that. We naturally have lots of perks and discounts for you if you are part of the members group, from lots of different businesses and different services that will help you to live a happy, fulfilling and successful life. And you get easy access to us too, me and Roxy. So, and who doesn't want a little bit of that in their life? So much value to being a member in Ladies Life Lounge. So you're probably thinking, well, what's it going to cost me? Well, ordinarily, Monthly membership is £49 a month. If you decide to do that annual, you save a couple of months subscription, and an annual subscription is £499. But because we are in the summit, our usual boot camp slot at the moment, we have got an amazing special offer on. So if you sign up during the summit, we've got the doors open till midnight on Monday, then you can join for just £29 a month, and you get to keep that price for life. Okay, that has no end, provided you don't leave. If you leave and you want to come back, then things might change. But if you sign up this week, you will get to secure that £29 a month membership subscription for life. And if you want to take advantage of the annual, look at the saving there. It's 200 quid. So you can join for £299. We've even got a couple of bonuses. So if you sign up as a result of this particular workshop through the link that I will share with you in a moment, then you will get a free goodie bag. And we've got some amazing goodies in our goodie bag. You'll see there, you get a pretty confident handbag sized journal and a pen. We've got mini clinique sets, some Floral Street perfume, a lovely little affirmation bracelet. You get a half price t-shirt from our shop. Lots and lots of lovely things in there for you. So if you sign up as a direct result of this workshop with the link that I'm going to share with you in a minute, you can bag yourselves one of those little bags of swag. So here's the link. All right, if you would like to sign up, you can use this link until midnight on Monday. So you literally just type into your browser bit.ly/LL2LL 21, and that's all capitals, the back end of that URL, LL2LL 21. Make sure those L's are capitals, and you can sign up on this amazing offer price. So if you have got any questions, whether it's about this particular workshop or you've got some questions about the membership, then please just drop them below this video. And you might want to tag Ladies Life Lounge in them, or tag the masterclass host. So you can do that quite easily at the bottom. Or if there's something you want to ask in private, just DM us, and we will answer whatever questions you have. So we hope you've enjoyed this. As we said, big warm invitation to come and join us as a member in Ladies Life Lounge. There really hasn't been a better time to do it than now. Let's make this summer the best one yet, the one where we truly feel like we are living our best lives. So we hope to see you on the other side. So yeah, we'll see you soon.